sure I understand.
You ever heard the Bell riots? It is one of the most violent civil disturbances in American history, and it happened right here, San Francisco, Sanctuary District A, the first week of September, 2024.
There's only a few days from now.
It's only a few days from now. You're right. It most certainly is. So that's the lead up to our next session, guys, which actually we had pulled up. But it seems that
No audio.
B. Oh, is there no audio on that video?
There was you played it with the volume on like 1%.
Oh, my bad. Anyway.
Maybe you want to run that again so people can hear what it's going on.
Let's run it again. I don't know why it was so low, but we'll run it again so that the shtick makes it. Let me get back up there.
You ever hear the Bell riots? It is one of the most violent civil disturbances in American history. It happened right here, San Francisco, Sanctuary District A, the first week of September, 2024.
But there's only... What is it?
That calendar over there, it says August
There's no
30th,
audio, right?
2024.
I'm not sure I understand.
You ever hear the Bell riots?
It's there, but
It
it's
is one of the most
whispered.
violent civil
Yeah, I've got
disturbances
it
in American
maxed
history,
out
and
on
it happened
the-
right here, San
bringing it
Francisco,
up.
Sanctuary District A, the first week of September, 2024.
But there's only a few days from now.
But anyway, guys, it says it's a Star Trek episode, and it says that talk about the Civil War was September 1st, 2024, and that kind of leads us into our next little section here, which this was available just a few minutes ago. I was talking to Paul before we went live. Just a few minutes ago, the full interview with Kamala Harris on CNN was available on CNN, and for some reason now they switched it to a live feed, and I can't get the full video from there. Just little clips, but I don't think it went too well for Kamala. But we did find some place that has the full video, and let's check out what Kamala Harris has to say in her first CNN interview. Just as soon as I get the audio in there.
Much up for grabs. In between a whirlwind series of stops, I sat down with the Democratic candidate for president and her running mate today at Kim's Cafe here in Savannah. Inside, nothing was off the table, and you will see our interview in its entirety. The vice president's first as her party's standard bearer, responding to her critics and answering our questions. Welcome on board. Thank you. It's good to see you. This is not where Vice President Harris thought she would be. We're going to Georgia. Yes. 7th trip there this year for me. A surprise nominee for president just months from Election Day. Set in motion after a stunning debate.
I think you need to transition the clip or something, because...
Oh, yeah, it might help if I do that.
I'm wondering if President Biden should even step aside.
Man, I'm kind of all over the
There was
place
a slow
today.
start, but
Let
it
me
was a strong
restart this. I'm
finish.
sorry.
And
I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm sitting here watching it. I'm in space.
good evening. We're live from Savannah, Georgia. I'm Dana Bash, and this is a state very much up for grabs. In between a whirlwind series of stops, I sat down with the Democratic candidate for president and her running mate today at Kim's Cafe here in Savannah. Inside, nothing was off the table, and you will see our interview in its entirety. The vice president's first as her party's standard bearer, responding to her critics and answering our questions. Welcome on board. Thank you. It's good to see you. This is not where Vice President Harris thought she would be. We're going to Georgia. Yes. 7th trip there this year for me. A surprise nominee for president just months from Election Day. set in motion after a stunning debate.
Look, if we finally beat Medicare,
Some within your own party are wondering if President Biden should even step aside. What do you say to that?
There was a slow start, but it was a strong finish.
And then an extraordinary decision.
I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation.
What usually takes years of planning, coming together in a matter of weeks. After a historic
Yeah, this is gonna
nomination
be
at the
painful.
convention in Chicago,
Extremely
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
the Harris Walls ticket is now pushing forward with the shortest presidential campaign in modern history.
What did you hear from voters here?
People are very optimistic.
We join them on the trail as they visited the battleground of Georgia. Just 68 days from the election. Madam Vice President, Governor Walz, thank you so much for sitting down with me and bringing the bus. The bus tour is well underway here in Georgia. You have less time to make your case to voters than any candidate in modern American history. The voters are really eager to hear what
Wow.
your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward, in a way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism. I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation, and I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
So what would you do day one?
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of
opportunity
proposals
economy,
in that regard,
one that the
which
government
include what we're going
regulates
to do
in
to
every
bring
way.
down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life, to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib. There's
Keep in
the work
mind
that
that
we're
only
going to do
matters
that
if
is
you make
about
enough money to
investing
actually pay
in
taxes.
the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our
Which
country
most
right
people
now.
don't.
So there are a number of things on day one.
What about you?
Well, I'm excited about this agenda, too. As I said, the
about?
idea of inspiring America to what can be. And I think many of these things that the Vice President's proposing are things that we share in values. And the child tax credit is one we know that reduces childhood poverty by a third. We did it in Minnesota to have a federal partner in this. Unbelievable, I think, in the impact that we can make.
You talked about, you call it the opportunity economy. You are well aware that right now many Americans are struggling. There's a crisis of affordability. One of your campaign themes is we're not going back. But I wonder what you say to voters who do want to go back when it comes to the economy specifically, because their groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Well, let's start with the fact that when Joe Biden and I came in office, during the height of a pandemic, we saw over 10 million jobs were lost. People, I mean, literally, we were all tracking the numbers. Hundreds of people a day were dying because of COVID. The economy had crashed. In large part, all of that because of mismanagement by Donald Trump. of that
The
crisis.
economy had
When
not
we
crashed
came
during
in, our
COVID.
highest priority was to,
Oh
do
my
what we could
God.
to rescue America.
This
And
is why they took
today,
it down.
We know that we have inflation at under 3%. A lot of our policies have led
Inflation
to
is
the
not
reality
She's
that America
wrong.
recovered
This
faster
is
than
lies.
any
There's no
wealthy
way they're
nation
going to
around
leave
the
this
world.
interview up.
But you are right. Prices, in particular for groceries, are still too high. The American people know it, I know it. Which is why my agenda includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries. For example, dealing with an issue like price
Collectivism.
gouging. What we need
Price
to do to
gouging.
extend
Get the
the
fuck
child
outta here.
tax credit to help young families be able
Tax
to
credit
take
that
care
most
of their
Americans can't
children
use.
in their most formative years. What we need to do to bring down the cost of housing. My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000.
It's
for
never
first-time
gonna work.
home buyers.
We don't
Tax
need
credit
to
of
worry.
$25,000 is going to
Enough
increase
to
the
put
price
a down
of houses
payment
by
on a home,
$25,000.
which is part of the American dream and their aspiration, but do it in a way that allows them to actually get on the path to achieving that goal and that dream.
So you have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
The steps
You
that you're
haven't done
talking
shit.
about now,
It's
Why haven't you done them
nonsense.
already?
It's
Oh,
guys, it's
point
Well,
one.
over.
first of all,
She's
we have
poached.
to recover
Beyond
as an
cooked.
economy, and we have
She's
done that. And I'm
microwaved.
very proud of the work that we have done that has brought inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it. So now, as I travel in the state of Georgia and around
What
our
is
country,
this
the number of
statistic?
seniors that have benefited. I was in Nevada recently, a grandmother who showed me her receipts. And before we capped the cost of insulin for seniors at $35 a month, she was paying hundreds of dollars, up to thousands of dollars a month for her insulin. She's not doing that any
you
longer.
maintain Bidenomics is a success.
I maintain that when we do the work of bringing down prescription medication for the American people, including capping the cost of the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000, when we do what we did in the first year of being in office to extend the child tax credit so that we cut child poverty in America by over 50%, when we do what we have done to invest in the American people and bringing manufacturing back to the United States so that we created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, bringing business back to America. What we have done
Bullshit.
to improve the supply chain so we're not relying on foreign governments to supply American families with their basic needs, I'll say that that's good work. There's more to do, but that's good work.
I want to get some clarity on where you stand on some key policy issues. Energy is a big one. When you were in Congress, you supported the Green New Deal. And in 2019, you said, quote, "There is no question I'm in favor of banning fracking." Fracking, as you know, is a pretty big issue, particularly in your must-win state of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020, that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
In 2019, I believe, at a town hall, you said, you were asked, would you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking on your first day in office? And you said, there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So yes. So it changed in that campaign?
In 2020, I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word.
What made you change that position at the time?
Well, let's be clear. My values have not changed. I believe it is
You're right.
very important that we take seriously what we must do.
Ryan, it's gone to ear rape. You're
guard
muted
against what
because
is
it was
a clear
chatter.
crisis in terms of the climate. And
Oh, yeah,
to do
yeah, I knew.
that, we can
I
do
just got
what
back.
we have accomplished thus far. The Inflation Reduction Act, what we have done to invest, by my calculation, over probably $1 trillion over the next 10 years, investing in a clean energy economy. What we've already done, creating over 300,000 new clean energy jobs. That tells me, from my experience as vice president, we can do it without banning fracking. In fact, Dana, I cast the tie-breaking vote that actually increased leases for fracking as vice president. So I'm very clear about where I stand.
And was there some policy or scientific data that you saw that you said, oh, okay, I get it now?
What I have seen is that we can grow and we can increase a thriving clean energy economy without banning
Yeah, I
fracking.
saw the spammer already got
Another
banned.
issue, big one, is immigration. As vice president, you were tasked with addressing the root causes of migration in southern countries and
Northern part of Central America.
the northern part
in particular,
of Central America that deals with, that affects the southern border of the U.S. During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal border crossings. Why did the Biden-Harris administration wait 3.5 years to implement sweeping asylum restrictions?
Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. But I will say this, that Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress,
what she's really trying to say?
a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I supported.
The borders are that never went there?
And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill. And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock, and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again? I just want to
Not
ask
only
about
push it,
This
I will
is-
make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
just one other question about something that you
Walls.
said in 2019 when you first ran. There was a debate. You raised
Walls
your
is
hand
really
when
out of
asked
his depth
whether
here.
or not the border should be decriminalized. Do you still believe that?
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally, and there should be consequence. And let's be clear, in this race, I'm the only person who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. I'm the only person in this race who actually served
memes just write themselves.
a border state
It's over,
as
guys.
Attorney General
It's
to
over.
enforce our laws, and I would enforce our laws as president going forward. I recognize the problem.
Generally speaking, how should voters
Kamala thinks she
look
has a
at
strong
some
border.
of the changes
It's
that
over,
you've
guys.
made,
Case closed.
that you've explained some of
Hooked!
in your
It's
policy?
Trump why the border is
Is it
actually bad.
because you have more experience
apparently.
now and you've
Oh
learned
my
more
God.
about the information? Is it
This was an easy
because you were
one.
running for president in a
Guys,
Democratic
it's
Glad
over.
that
primary?
you could tell us.
Everyone
And
raise
should
a
they feel
drink.
comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of
You think she's
my
reading
policy
notes?
perspective and decisions
kinda
is
what
my
it looks
values
like.
have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal.
She
I
keeps
have
looking
always
down like
believed,
she's got
and I've
a
worked
paper
on
in front of her
it,
that she's
that the
reading.
climate crisis is real, that it is an
notice
urgent
that?
matter to which we should apply metrics that include
She's
holding
reading it.
ourselves
She totally
to
reading these
deadlines
answers,
around
bro.
time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals
Why
for the
else would
United
you
States of America
constantly look
and by
down like
extension the
that in the
globe
same spot?
around when we should meet
Everyone raise a
certain
glass. Let's have a
standards for
drink.
reduction of
It's
greenhouse gas
over.
emissions.
They
As an
fucked
example,
themselves. They shot
that value
themselves
has
in the
not
foot.
changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our
drinking
border,
one. Let's
that
go,
value
guys.
has not changed. I
It's
spent
over.
2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed. So that is the reality of it. And 4 years of being vice president, I'll tell you, one of the aspects to your point is traveling the country
it.
extensively. I mean, I'm here in Georgia.
That's
I think
a
somebody
meme.
told me
Clip
17
it,
times
clip it.
since I've been vice president
it's so
in Georgia
good.
alone.
Thank
I
you,
believe
Lord.
it is important
This
to
whole
build
interview is
consensus.
a meme.
And it is important
This is fucking
to
beyond a
find
train
a
wreck.
common place of understanding
Parallel
of where we can
universe.
actually solve problems.
On that note, you had a lot of Republican speakers at the convention, will you appoint a Republican to your cabinet?
Yes, I would.
Anyone
Yes,
in
I
mind?
would. No one in particular in mind. We got 68 days to go with this election, so I'm not putting the cart before the horse. But I would. I think it's really
football
important.
is over there just doing nothing.
I have spent my career
Moral support.
inviting
Maybe he's holding
diversity
the
of
paper
opinion.
for to
I
read
think
the
it's
script.
important to have
That's what
people
he's
at
doing.
the table
Hey,
when some of the
here
most
come, I
important
got the
decisions
play.
are being made.
This is the play
that
right here.
have
Read it.
different
Come on,
views, different
coach just got the-
experiences. And I think
coach just
it
got
would
the
be to
play
the benefit
nestled
of the
between his
American
balls.
public to have a member
Just
of
come
my
over here
cabinet.
Don't mind all
Sniff
them
my
horse
fingers.
dicks I drew on it.
That was
don't
just the
worry
start of
about
our
the
wide-ranging
horse songs. There's
conversation,
nothing
and we have
wrong
some
when you got
never-before-shared
balls.
details about
Balls
the
to
phone
the
call
wall,
that
balls
changed
to the
everything
wall.
between President Joe Biden and
guy.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
I'm just curious, staying on President Biden, when he called you and said he was pulling out of the race, what was that like? And did he offer to endorse you right away, or did you ask for it?
It was a Sunday, so here
No
I'll
shit.
give you a little too much information.
Go for it. There's no such thing, Madam Vice President.
And her running mate. I asked him about some of the controversies that have sprung up since Harris put him on the ticket.
Do they ask him
Governor
about
Walz,
drinking horse juice?
the country is just starting to get
No,
to
that's-
know you.
bro,
I
come
wanna
on.
ask,
She's so brat.
you a question about
She's
how
so
you
Kamala.
described your service in the National
She's so
Guard.
Julia.
You said that you carried
She's so
weapons
Julia.
in
Yas,
war, but
queen.
you have never
Yas,
deployed actually
queen.
in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Oh shit! Huh, they're going to ask him about that. See it? The liberal media doesn't seem to like Harris too much, do they? Was that the whole thing? That was the whole thing?
That went
Come on.
by
What
quick.
the fuck?
That went by like a...
That's all we got?
That's all we got. That's all they're letting out. Of course, they're not going to let Walls... You know, old Walls balls. They're not going to let him swang.
on, man. We gotta... Actually,
That was it.
That,
You were just getting camped in then, weren't you? You were just getting settled. You were ready for the second round.
yeah.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
all they were going to give us, man. Like, Walls comes out, he does an impersonation of Karl Marx, Fidel Castro, whatever, and the helicopter has just started warming up on the helipad, and we're giving out free helicopter rides. Anybody want to come along? We have free helicopter rides, and beautiful view.
It's
a
going to be
wonderful one.
a brave new world.
Yeah.
Ha.
Wow.
What the
That
fuck,
was-
man? I'm pretty irritated. I want to see the rest of this.
I don't think it's ever going to get aired. It was that bad. I don't think they're going to let that up.
It is on my it's on my Hulu that it will be.
It's on
I'll be
the-
able to watch it from CNN on Hulu, but not until 3 a.m.
Well, they've got to get an editing quick. Man, imagine being a fly on the wall in that editing room right now.
Oh my god!
Imagine fucking hell, bro. Imagine what Walls is doing. Walls is pacing around from wall to wall, swanging his balls. Just furious right now. Because it just... Or maybe he's excited. Maybe he thought that went well. We
I
don't
wanna
know. We
know
don't...
If
we
there
have no
was a
idea.
script, like they have this picture of her talking and you can't see anything on the table, but
Yeah.
I just thought it was really strange that she kept looking down toward the table in the same spot.
Well,
Over and over
obviously, we have overestimated the Liberals, and we thought that they may actually have some kind of like masterful plan, but they can't run shit. They can't even run a campaign. They can't even tell the truth. Coming out of this, we're looking at a strong economy, a strong border. Everything's good. She arrested more people on the border. What the fuck? They have been saying the exact opposite the whole time, and that we don't want a border wall and we need an open border. How on earth can they come out and say these things now? They're liars. They're shit-talking fuckers. They're full of shit.
They're absolutely full of shit. I mean, that few minutes of this that we actually got to watch was nothing but complete and total bullshit. Let's not forget that she was the border czar that never went to the border, that they tried to lie about that and covered it up. Was it Axios? Axios got fact-checked by their own article on X.
Yeah, well, thank fuck for that. Because if we didn't have that, we'd have no way. Yeah, it's because they think they're still living in that era of when they had the Zuckerberg in their pocket. And Marky Mark has been lifting weights. He's been pumping iron. He's been plinking. He's been cooking out. He's been going out on the old board on the lake, right? Flying the flag. And he discovered something. He discovered that he was a total cuck and that he'd done something wrong. And then out of nowhere, he decided to come forward and tell everyone he'd done something wrong. So it works, you know, we're all connected, we're all children of God, you know, we're all brothers and sisters, we're all interconnected. And at the end of the day, the more we talk about this stuff and make fun, he does see the memes, come on, it gets back to him. He knows people don't see him as a human. And he's trying to be a human. It must be pretty hard being Mark Zuckerberg, because no one likes you. You know what I mean? Like, no one likes you. And that's, yeah, that must be pretty tricky. When he goes to buy groceries, like, everyone thinks you're a piece of shit, but he got all the money. So he gained the world but lost his soul, just like the saying goes. And now he's trying to make clean of it and come out and say that there was election tampering. You know, we'll see how the public reacts to that. I think Mark Zuckerberg's cooked, and even if he does go and cook himself in the sun, he's not going to make his bake any better. You can't bake, he's overbaked. He's done. It's done, you know? Maybe he becomes a stoner now. I like him then, actually. Yeah, if he became a stoner now,
hey, I got
it could be cool.
I got good news.
I
found the rest of the interview is on CNN's YouTube now.
Oh,
we got part
shit.
1, 2, and 3. So
should we jumpy jump into
yeah. Let's jump into part 2 because we already watched part 3 or part 1. Let's check out part 2. So I'm pretty excited to find that.
Another issue, big one, is immigration. As Vice President, you were tasked with addressing the root causes of migration in southern
other one, I think.
countries.
Close enough, anyway.
Northern part of Central America.
The northern part of Central America that deals with, that affects the southern border of the U.S. During the Biden-Harris administration, there were record numbers of illegal border crossings. Why did the Biden-Harris administration wait 3.5 years to implement sweeping asylum restrictions?
Well, first of all, the root causes work that I did as vice president, that I was asked to do by the president, has actually resulted in a number of benefits, including historic investments by American businesses in that region. The number of immigrants coming from that region has actually reduced since we began that work. But I will say this, that Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border. And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border. And let me tell you something, the Border Patrol endorsed the bill.
1,500 agents isn't going
and
to
I'm
do
sure,
shit.
And I'm sure in large part because they knew they were working around the clock, and 1,500 more agents would help them. That bill would have allowed us to increase seizures of fentanyl. Ask any community in America that has been devastated by fentanyl what passing that bill would have done to address their concern and a pain that they've experienced.
So you would push that legislation again. I just want to ask
Not only push it, I will make sure that it comes to my desk and I would sign it.
Just one other question about something that you said in 2019 when you first ran. There was a debate. You raised your hand when asked whether or not the border should be decriminalized. Do you still believe that?
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border
You're right,
illegally.
Brian. She doesn't know what she's
and there
talking
should be
about.
consequence.
She
And
has
let's be
no
clear, in
idea
this
what she's talking
race,
about.
I'm the only
Total
person
moron.
who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. I'm the only person in this race who actually served a border state as Attorney General to enforce our laws, and I would enforce our laws as President going forward. I recognize the problem.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy, is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president
Experience
in a
doing
Democratic
what?
primary? And should they feel comfortable and
President
confident that what you're
hardly
saying
does
now
anything.
is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on
That's
it,
'cause she's never
that
been
the
to the
climate
border.
crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of
Didn't you just
American
say
laws regarding the passage, illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed. So that is the reality of it. And 4 years of being vice president, I'll tell you, one of the aspects to
Yeah,
your
that's what I'm
point
saying, Brian. She
is
keeps like looking at the
traveling
same
the
spot
country
on the desk while she's
extensively.
reading the script.
I mean, I'm here in
Is there a
Georgia. I think
script
somebody
there?
told me
They have a
17
little-
times since
they
I've
have
been
an
vice
iPad set up
president
there so
in
you can
Georgia
read the
alone.
teleprompter.
I believe it is important to build consensus, and it is important to find a common place of understanding of
Surely it's
where
not
we can actually
coincidence that she just
solve
keeps
problems.
looking
On
at
that
the
Obama.
same fucking
note, you
spot.
had a lot of Republican speakers
Obama's watching
at the
this and he's
convention. Will you
pissed.
appoint a Republican to
Oh
your
yeah,
cabinet?
guarantees.
Yes,
He
I would.
is.
Anyone in
Obama
mind?
knows.
No one in
You
particular
can't
in mind.
send
We got
a
68
woman to
days
do a
go
man's
with this
job. You
election,
should have
so I'm
sent
not putting
Michael.
the cart before the horse, but I would. I think it's really
You
important.
definitely can't send this woman.
I have spent
because
my
she's
career
just an idiot.
inviting diversity of opinion. I think it's important to have people at the table when some of the most important decisions are being made that have different views, different experiences. And I think it would be to the benefit of the American public to have a member of my cabinet who was a Republican.
I want to ask you about
Oh,
your
boy.
opponent, Donald Trump.
The bullshit
Um,
stinks
I
so
was a
bad.
little bit surprised.
I gotta
People might
open
be
a window.
surprised to hear that
Yeah,
you have
this is
never
cancer.
interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what
She
he
has a
said
token-
last
do we
month.
have an
He
acronym for that
suggested
yet? A
that
token
you happened
Republican.
to turn black recently for political purposes.
We got a rhino, but we have a
Questioning
token
core part
Republican.
of your identity.
Yeah.
Any?
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Let's talk about some foreign policy issues that would be on your plate if you become commander-in-chief. President Biden has tried unsuccessfully to end the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. He's been doing it for months and months, along with you. Would you do anything differently? For example, would you withhold some U.S. weapons shipments to Israel? That's what a
They
lot of
just gotta
people
make
on the
sure she
progressive
checks all
left
the,
want you to do.
Political check
Let me
boxes
be very
for the
clear. I
Democratic
am
Party.
unequivocal and unwavering in my commitment
Yeah,
to
she's
Israel's
definitely not
defense
black. She's way more
and its
Indian,
ability to defend
or whatever
itself.
the hell she wants to
and
do
that's
this
not
week.
going to change. But let's take a step back. October 7, 1,200 people were massacred. Many young people who were simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped.
Yep.
As I said then, I say today, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. And we
She
have
got a
to
briefing.
get
She
a
finally got the
deal
briefing.
done. We were in Doha.
Seen the light a little bit on
We
that.
have to get a
She got-
deal
Yeah.
done. This
She
war
got
must
shown some
end.
scary shit.
And we must get a deal.
She just
that
got
is
shown the truth, I
about
think.
getting the hostages out. I've met
And it
with the
is
families
a
of the
reality
American
that we all
hostages.
must be
Let's
shown.
get the hostages out. Let's get the ceasefire done.
But no change in policy in terms of arms and so forth.
No, we have to get a deal done. Dana, we have to get a deal done. When you look at the significance of this to the families, to the people who are living in that region, a deal is not only the right thing to do to end this war, but will unlock so much of what must happen next. I remain committed since I've been on October 8 to what we must do to work toward a two-state solution, where Israel is
two-state
secure
solution?
and in equal measure the Palestinians have security
This
and
woman is
self-determination
infantile
and
and-
solution
dignity.
is never going to work.
We know it doesn't
hasn't
work.
worked. It's
Doesn't
since the
work.
beginning. It's not going to work now. Let's go on to part 3.
Governor Walz, the country is just
footballs,
starting
yeah.
to get to know you. I want to ask you a question about how you've described your service in the National Guard. You said that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign
Called
official
out.
said that you misspoke. Did you?
Deployment Dodger.
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. My record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I
Love the
speak
smell
like
of
they
those
do.
tires burn.
I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns. So I think people know me. They know who I am. They know where my heart is. And again, my record has been out there for over 40 years to speak for itself.
Then why did you say you went to combat?
The idea that you said that you were in war.
Yeah.
Did you misspeak as the campaign has said?
Yeah, I said we were talking about, in this
Our
case, this was
targets
after a school shooting,
are the
the ideas
solution.
of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar is not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog. I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have, and I never will.
I'll demean his
Just one
because he's
other
a liar.
question, because again, this
That's
is
someone
all
who's
new.
actually been in combat.
I mean, this was not, however many days ago, this was not on either of your bingo cards, especially yours. You had to clarify that you had said that you and your wife used IVF, but it turned out you used a different kind of fertility in order to have children. And then when you ran for Congress in 2006, your campaign repeatedly made false statements about a 1995 arrest for drunk and reckless driving. What do you say to voters who aren't sure whether they can take you at your word?
Well, I've been very public. I think they can see my students come out, former folks I've served with, and they vouch for me. I certainly own my mistakes when I make them. The one thing I'll tell you is I wished in this country wouldn't have to do this. I spoke about our infertility issues because it's hell, and families know this. And I spoke about the treatments that were available to us that had those beautiful children there. That's quite a contrast in folks that are trying to take those rights away from us. And so I think people know who I am. They know that record. They've seen that. I've taught thousands of students. I've been out there. And I won't apologize for speaking passionately, whether it's guns in schools or protecting of reproductive rights. The contrast could not be clearer between
No.
what we're running against.
No,
The
I
Vice
can't
President's
imagine
position on this has been
running
clear.
America.
And I think most Americans get it if you've
but
been through
sadly,
that. I don't think they're
they
cutting
have a
hairs on
fair chance
IVF or
of
IUI. I
actually
think what they're
winning,
cutting
which
hairs on is an
completely
abortion ban and
insane
the
to
ability
think
to be
about.
able to deny families the chance to have a beautiful child.
They're going to steal it.
Vice President Harris, you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years. Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden
total
is
South Park
extraordinarily
vibes.
strong.
If they get
Given
elected,
where
they'll
we
be
are
gone
now,
for South Park.
do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
Turd
No,
sandwich,
not
a
at all.
giant douche.
Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly. He cares so deeply about the American people. He is so smart and loyal to the American people. And I have spent hours upon hours with him, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. He has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition that I think the American people rightly deserve in their president. By contrast, the former president
Joe
has none
Biden is
of that.
well known to be a dickhead.
And so, one, I am so proud to have served as vice president to Joe Biden. And two, I am so proud to be running with Tim Walz for president of the United States and to bring America what I believe the American people deserve, which is a new way forward, and turn the page on the last decade of what I believe has been contrary to where the spirit of our country really lies.
But the last decade, of course, the last 3.5 years has been part of your administration.
I'm talking about an era that started about a decade ago, where there is some suggestion, warped I believe it to be, that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, instead of where I believe most Americans are, which is to believe that the true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what's at stake as much as any other detail that we could discuss in this election.
Because we haven't had a chance to talk, I'm just curious, staying on President Biden, when he called you and said he was pulling out of the race, what was that like? And did he offer to endorse you right away, or did you ask for it?
It was it was
Not
a
gonna get the
Sunday,
truth on that one.
so here I'll give you a little too much information.
Go for it. There's no such thing, Madam Vice President.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
And what about the endorsement? Did you ask for it?
He was very clear that he was going to support me.
So when he called to tell you, he said, "I'm pulling out of the race and I'm going to support you."
Well, my first thought was not about me, to be honest with you. My first thought was about him, to be honest. I think history is going to show a number of things about Joe Biden's presidency. I think history is going to show that in so many ways it was transformative, be it on
transformative
what we
toward
have
communism.
accomplished around finally investing in America's infrastructure, investing in new economies, in new industries, what we have
How
done
many of you
to
feeling good
bring
about the
our
economy?
allies back
How many of you
together
have the
and have
economy working
confidence
well
in
for
who we
you?
are as America and grow that alliance, what we have done to stand true to our principles, including one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I think history is going to show not only has Joe Biden led an administration that has achieved those extraordinary successes, but the character of the man is one that he has been in his life and career, including as a president, quite selfless and puts the American people first.
I just have to ask you both about two standout moments, aside, of course, from the addresses that you both gave, but standout moments that were perhaps unexpected during the convention. You mentioned one of them, Governor. A moment that you shared, that the world shared with your son, Gus. You were speaking, the camera caught him, so incredibly proud of you, so emotional, saying, "That's my dad."
Yeah, I don't know as a father I could have ever imagined that. I'm grateful for so many reasons to be on this ticket, but that moment, to understand what was really important, to have my son feel a sense of pride in me, that I was trying to do the right thing. And it was, you try and protect your kids, it brings notoriety and things, but it was just such a visceral, emotional moment that I'm grateful I got to experience it, and I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Hope. I'm proud of Gwen. She's a wonderful mother, and these are great kids. And I think the one thing is, talking about the era we're in, is our politics can be better. It can be different. We can show some of these things, and we can have families involved in this. And I hope that I hope people felt that out there, and I hope they hug their kids a little tighter, because you just never know, and life can be kind of hard.
And last question, Madam Vice President, the photograph that has gone viral. You were speaking, one of your grandnieces that you were just talking about was watching you accept the nomination. You didn't explicitly talk about gender or race in your speech, but it obviously means a lot to a lot of people.
The
And
rest
that
of the people at the DNC
viral
did.
picture
Jesus
really
Christ,
says
that's
it.
all it was about.
What
was
does it mean to
gender
you?
and race.
You know, I am running because I believe that I am the best person to do this job at this moment, for all Americans, regardless of race and gender. But I did see that photograph, and I was deeply touched by it. And you're right, it's the back of her head, her two little braids, and then I'm in the front of the photograph, obviously speaking. And it's very humbling. It's very humbling in many ways.
Did she talk to you about it afterwards?
Oh, she had a lot to talk about. She had a lot. She listened to everything, and she listens to everything.
Give you your hot takes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Uh-huh.
Madam Vice President, Governor Walz, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you, Dana. Thank you.
Wow. That was a total load of horse shit. Paul, I feel like you're probably barely containing yourself. Still there with us, buddy. Might have had to bail out. Might not have been able to handle it anymore. But yeah, I mean, nothing that she said on there really told us anything. It's just a bunch of word salad. It's bullshit. She's never been to the border. She never cared about protecting the border. They're trying to deflect. They're trying to push it toward Trump, saying that the border is Trump's fault somehow, when all these illegals have come through the border on their watch and they've made it to where it's harder for them to be able to get through. It's completely insane. Just bear with me. I'm trying to get Paul back with us here. Check on him. Because I know he's going to have some things to light up about this.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm here. Sorry. It was just BRB for a second there.
Oh, that's okay. We both have kids. Oh, thanks, Brian. Thanks for the like button, and thanks for hitting that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to
Fucking
you too,
awesome.
Stabby. Yeah. We usually have a lot more going on Fridays anyway, so not a big deal. But did you get to watch that, Paul?
Well, I was just watching it, at the end there, but I missed the last minute or so.
Oh.
What happened? What did they close up on?
Oh, nothing much. Just the same word salad, man, going in circles nowhere. Just total horseshit.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard a single thing in there that was actually the truth.
They talk about fact-checking Trump a lot. I think someone needs to get on the old fact-checking for this rapidly. Because they are the fact-checkers. So the fact that they're deleting it is very telling. That it was down, and now it's back up, and now there'll be an edited version. We got to see. I mean, you've got it back up, but they actually... What was the original news? They pulled it while it was streaming or something? Or
Yeah.
Did something
we had it pulled up on CNN. We had it pulled up on CNN to play off of there. And then they just took it off of there and went to the live show. And then we couldn't find it. And we found the one guy that shared that bit of it. And now they've uploaded portions of it to CNN's YouTube. But it does appear to be edited already.
So,
And,
I mean...
Again, I really noticed... I'm usually pretty oblivious to little details like this. My wife is always the one that's picking out the small details in movies and TV shows and pointing the shit out to me. But I couldn't help but notice that she kept looking at the table the entire time that she was talking, like she was reading notes. And even her eyes were moving like she was reading. Did you notice that?
I noticed that, and she should have been looking up and going to recollection, really. And do you notice how her body language was? She was very forward. She was very much on the defense. Very tense, very sat forward in her chair. Walls seemed to be ushered along by her energy, being this kind of lapdog. Well, he is the VP, but yeah, he's sitting there.
I think they picked Walls because he's going to be the man that's actually run the show, because I know Kamala's a raging moron. And she's just president figurehead, even if she gets elected.
It's over when we get to the debate. If
Oh,
this
yeah.
woman actually debates Trump, it's over. It's game over. I mean, pretty much we have video
Well,
evidence
Tulsi
of
Gabbard
it
ended
from this
her
year.
in one debate.
It's not going to be hard. I would say that a YouTuber could end her in debate. I don't think it's difficult at all, and I can't see how the Harry Sissons of the world, the David Hoggs, and these kids are stupid enough to go along with this. If they really believe in America, they really believe in these things that they keep on trying to say that they're for freedom, for liberty, for justice. How on earth can they look themselves in the mirror, man? How it doesn't make any sense. Same for JoJo from Jers. I'm calling out all the Twitter, all the libs. They all need to look in the mirror right now. You've got a strong economy. Say it to yourself. Convince yourself. Because, yeah, I don't think anyone else is buying it. I don't think there's any way in
I'm
hell.
not buying the strong economy thing at all. I just went to the grocery store today. All right, we got essentials that we needed because we didn't have anything in the house. And we got dinner for one night, and I spent $147.
There you go.
You know what I mean? The economy is not working for the everyday American, and this
Wind it back.
$6,000 child tax credit bullshit, that's not going to work out for most Americans either, because so many Americans don't even pay taxes; they get a tax return. So the $6,000 credit doesn't mean dick to you because you're not going to get anything back from it anyway. And that $25,000 first-time home buyer credit, well, guess what that's going to do? That's just going to take the price of every house out there up by $25,000.
Of course. Yeah. That whole thing's stupid. The new capital gains tax on unrealized gains is suicide.
Yeah. The capital gains tax she's proposing is 48%. 48.
It's suicide, and it's never going to be voted in. We, the people, do not accept it. It's never going to be accepted. There's just
Only
no
if the
way in
Democrats
hell.
get a supermajority. You know, they would have to have the Senate, the House, and be able to just pass all this crap. That's the only way she's going to get a 48% capital gains tax, going to get a 28% corporate tax, and an insane 25% unrealized gains tax.
That's
which
the
would
one that
essentially
is
bankrupt everyone.
going to bankrupt everyone and is really tying into the "you will own nothing and be happy" mantra of the communists, the Chi-Com, the globalists, whatever you want to call them, the heathens. They're out there trying to take everything you have, tax it into oblivion. And what do they have? What does Kamala's house look like? What does Pelosi's stock trading portfolio gains look like? I mean, let's really look into it. Let's dig into it. If they're going to say the border's secure, then how can we walk it back? Let's walk back, 4 years of the administration. Let's walk it back. How can someone needs to put a video together. I don't think it's too difficult. If I had time, I'd love to do it. But you just need to run her talk for a second and then just run it back. That's the format. That's all we need to do here is just run it back a second. You don't really need to do any writing or anything. It's just a bit of cutting, just a bit of splicing. Because she's said the exact opposite of all of these things, and whenever it's in the context of Trump, whenever we're talking about Trump, then she's going to blame all of these things on the Trump administration and say, the border needs to be open and this is perfect and fine. Now she goes on interview and she is a complete hypocrite. She's a liar.
100% a liar. Absolutely a liar.
There's no way around it. The border.
And what you said, they blocked hiring 15 more border security agents. 1,500 border security agents is a drop in the bucket. It is not going to substantially or even noticeably affect the security of the border in any way. That is not enough people to be protecting the border. Maybe if you said 15,000.
Alex Jones is reporting that armed Venezuelans are a problem right now, taking over sort of, should we say, like hotels and motels and areas where they've been housed.
Yeah, there's a pretty
migrant
popular
gangs.
video. It's been floating around on the X about these Venezuelans with long guns, like basically running this hotel. It turns out this is a high crime place anyway, and I guess it has been the building's been closed since then.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just one example.
I see what you've just brought up on the stream. These guys are cancer. Yeah. So, okay. So we're moving on to that already. Okay.
Oh, I was just getting it prepped.
Just getting it prepped.
I'm more than happy to bitch and moan about Kamala's insane policy ideas.
Right.
If you want to dive into that some more.
Sure. Yeah. Well, the main thing for me is that what policy? I don't see it. From what I heard from her rhetoric so far, from what they're saying, everything's good. Economy good. Border good.
Tax the shit out of you, and we're going to take your guns. That's
pretty much. Oh, that's just always an ongoing always thing, and we haven't done a little view on Zelna Myrie. We haven't looked into Jamie Raskin since the DNCs. We need to go and do a check back on all of these anti-gunners and have a good look at what they're saying, because
especially Zelna Myrie, because he may not be so far under the radar.
Yeah, for many people who may not be aware that there is a lot of Democrats which have a background in law and are very well funded, and they are essentially redefining what the Second Amendment is and telling us how it works. And isn't that a huge concern when a member of the government tells us what the protection against tyranny is and how you define it? No, you've got it wrong. Isn't that funny? Isn't it ironic that it's a Brit that's telling you about that? Let me tell you, if it goes worse and worse, there's a reason I left England. There's a reason I got the hell out of there. It's a crazy place. It's a very fucking dangerous place. My nephew stabbed down the face, massive scar mark, tried to stab me many times. There's all kinds of shit in England. You don't want to live there. It's a fucking shithole. And yeah, you don't want this to happen. England is heavily socialist. It's become socialist. Look at what's going on in America. These kind of policies they're bringing in is worse than what they're living in England. And no one wants to. Who wants to move to England? Why would anyone want to go to England? No one. No one in their right mind.
The only people who want to go there are the people that are going there to get the free government assistance.
Right.
From countries where they were living in shit huts.
Yeah. It's better for them if they can get there and abuse the system, make some money for them. But in terms of someone who's got their shit together, no one wants to actually live in England or probably have anything to do with it. I can't wash the accent off. That's the thing. I would if I could, but I can't. So you just got to be straight up and honest about these things, I think. And many Brits, they believe that England can be recovered in some way, that it will rise again. It's never going to happen, guys.
No,
what are you talking about?
It's not going to happen.
Crazy. Never going to happen. It already happened. Just remember, the answer to 1984 is 1776. You don't need to think about it much more than that. It's never going to happen. You live on Airstrip 1. That's the UK. What's going on in America right now, though, could turn it into Airstrip 2. That could be, if you don't get the reference, in 1984, they have a socialism thing, and they call it Airstrip 1, right? And that we're saying England is Airstrip 1. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like the rewriting of history. It looks like double speak. I'm seeing a lot of double
memory
speak.
holding stuff.
Rewriting history.
Memory holding is like one of the big themes of this. In fact, that was shit. What's the main character of 1984's name? I can't remember right now. I forget names all the time.
His name is the man in the story. But carry on with the point. Yeah.
His job for INGSOC is to edit history and to memory hole stuff, and they just incinerate it.
And Wikipedia, we look at it now, and that's why I'm saying keep an eye on it, on all of these topics that are surrounding it. Even I'm memory holding stuff because I forgot what we needed to have on the watch list there. But we were talking about something yesterday about this very topic that was going to get changed. We were fairly sure they would start changing it in the Wikipedia pretty soon. If we wind back yesterday's stream, is on there. But yeah, for sure, they are. I think we were talking about the border. And remember, right now, they're already doing it when they compare the stats, because they're talking about this inflation stat. They're looking at baseline. Like, they're not looking at the Biden fuck up.
No. And they also don't count commodities in that. Yeah.
So, everyone knows their pockets were fat and the tank of gas was full during the Trump administration. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. It was a great time. It was a wonderful time. Let the memories not be forgotten. Let the time not be forgotten. Because we're going straight back there. That's what's going to happen. We're going to go to good times. A pocket full of cash and a tank full of gas. It's right around the corner. The good times are here. if
But
we
the only
stop
way that's
Kamala.
going to happen is you have to go out and vote.
You gotta
Can't just
go and
sit at
vote,
home.
yeah.
Because they're
Yeah,
going to
you
do
can't sit
everything
in.
that they can to make sure that Trump doesn't win again. You know what? I'm not sitting here saying that Trump's like the greatest man in the world. He's not.
No,
Right?
no,
He's
definitely not. He wasn't that great for the Second Amendment. He's not the fucking savior. And we're gonna say the cliche line, "the better of two evils." But you don't have any other choice when it comes to this. We've seen the interview. Wow. I mean, you've just seen it. If you believe in anything she said, then let us know
You're
in
crazy.
the chat.
Yeah, I'll
we'd
just
like
say
to-
it. You're crazy. You're you're crazy.
Would love to know.
I'd
if you
like to know
believe
your
in
crazy
anything.
thoughts.
It's a wild world, and Kamala is definitely queen of it. Yas, queen, slay, slay. It's a
It's
scary,
not a wild
scary
world,
thing.
buddy. It's a brave new world.
A brave new. It's a clown world. Honk, honk. What are we gonna do?
I keep saying that because I want people to Google it and to
Brave New World, yeah.
and discover the book.
Or yeah, there's TV versions, there's films and stuff for us that have a short attention span. Essentially, they outlaw parents, and people are like test tube babies all over. It's a crazy sci-fi. And speaking of sci-fi,
and there's a lot of sexual exploitation that is encouraged from a young age. Gee, I wonder what that looks like.
right. It does tie into the world that, that we are leading into now. Yeah. So, and speaking of that, at the start of the show, we had a clip that Stabby had sent in through the Discord, which is crazy shit. It's a sci-fi Star Trek clip where they're talking about the first of next month. It's going to be from back in the day.
Star Trek.
So, yeah, old school Star Trek, talking about the year 2024, and it's going to be a massive civil war. So, is there some timeline thing
On
planned
September
up?
1st
Is this
is what it says?
was this some pre-programming? So yeah, all eyes on that. Heads on a swivel.
Sometimes
and,
I just wish it would happen so we could get it over with.
I just hope that it's all bullshit and everything's going to be good. And it, like, you know, we don't have to have all that happen. People in the general mass realize that Kamala's stupid, inflation bad. We can't do shit like that.
But you know what?
We can't do shit like that, you know?
I've met some real crazies out there here lately. It's been impressive.
It's wild.
But give us the background on these Costco guys before we hit play on this.
All right, okay. I'm also hitting the ground running on this. I first saw them maybe yesterday or the day before. It had not been in my algorithm. It had not been in my feed. But basically, they are guys that love Costco. They go to Costco and they eat
just love
food.
Costco.
I don't want to spoiler alert, you know, I don't want to spoil it too much, right? But they're called the Costco guys, and I think they are also Botoxers, and I think the kid's a Botoxer. Maybe.
Really?
Well, look at his cheeks on this
Yeah.
picture. Look at those big round rosy cheeks, and on his dad. I think they're getting injections of filler, and I think Mr. Beast got it too. That's why I always call him Botox Beast. I think they're swollen. They're swole in the face. It's
He does
bizarre.
have like no wrinkles on his forehead.
It looks really, really strange, like the face is plastic or something. Anyway, if we can play the clip, I don't want to spoil it for you guys,
Yeah.
but cringe alert, you know, there is no background other than they are influencers and they're viral right now. They love going viral.
We bring up double chunk chocolate cookie.
You want? Wait.
You don't want none of that? Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Come on. Chicken bake.
Well, guys, I'm officially a hater. Over the last couple of months, my opinion on a certain content creating family has been slowly but surely changing, and I think it's time that I finally break my silence. You've read the title. You know who we're talking about. It's the Costco guys. Now, if you have somehow managed to go these last few months without seeing or hearing anything about these two, then welcome to the internet. Glad to be the first video you've ever watched because that's the only way that I can imagine a person not hearing about the Costco guys, aka AJ and Big Justice. These two started really blowing up earlier this year thanks to the TikToks they made about how much they love going to Costco, and since then it's been impossible to be on the internet for a day without hearing something about them. Now, like I said earlier, my opinion on these two has changed because when they first started going viral, like many others, I think, my thoughts on these videos were that they were completely harmless, just a father and son having some fun and bonding through TikTok. Which, I mean, how are you gonna hate on that, right? Well, not right. It seems like the OG haters of this might have been onto something, had some information we didn't, because over these last couple of months, it's gotten pretty bad, guys. Now, this video is not directed whatsoever towards the kids involved in this content because they are children. This is really just about the dad, AJ. It seems like he's starting to go down like the baby Gronk route, and it's not a good look. So we're gonna be going through sort of a rough timeline of this content, and you're gonna see a progression that is not leading to anywhere good. So let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
Jesus, man, this is already so cringe. I was actually happy to see the commercial.
We're Costco guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture.
We're Costco guys. Of course we work out with the tires.
Okay, so from my understanding, this is the video that sort of shot them into virality. We're not going to watch the entire thing because what you've seen already is enough to kind of figure out what the video is about. They're Costco guys, if you didn't hear. This is the first video that I saw of AJ and Big Justice, and I mean, like, it's really not that bad. It's a father and son having fun. It's nothing super insane over the top. It's just them fucking around in Costco. There's no ulterior motive here, obviously, right? Well, I don't know. A lot of videos have surfaced of this guy trying to do this for like the last decade. The dad seems like he's really been trying to break into the whole family channel style of content, which you guys know how I feel about that stuff. Children should not be forced onto social media the second they're born. People who do that, in my opinion, are fucking insane. However, I'm willing to give past AJ the benefit of the doubt because from what I've seen, nothing really seems too offensive. It's just little day-to-day vlogs of them going to the grocery store or playing in the backyard, stuff like that. Nothing too exploitative like we see a lot of times with family channels, but that's gonna change. Now, for a while, things were continuing normally. They were just doing their Costco content. Sure, they introduced a couple of bits here and there, but it had not gotten out of hand yet. That happened, in my opinion, after this video right here made it to the internet, after we added a new character to the AJ and Big Justice universe, the Rizzler. Can you imagine saying that last sentence into a microphone, being your job? Yeah, it's a wacky existence for me, guys. Now, the reason I blame this video, however, is because I believe that the Rizzler corrupted AJ and Big Justice. Now, look, I know I said I wasn't gonna mention the kids, but this is an exception because it's not really me mentioning the children. To me, this is when AJ was fully exposed to what exploiting his kid could get him. If you don't know who the Rizzler is, he's just a kid who makes this face and is essentially just a visual gag for whatever video he gets put in. And by doing this, he is probably making more money than his father, who is putting him in all these videos. And I honestly think that AJ saw this and was like, okay, I've got a son, we've got a pretty big social media following, how can I make him into a Rizzler? Because after this video got uploaded, their content proceeds to get far more gimmicky and far more exploitative. And if we jump from the video that we were looking at earlier, where they're just walking around Costco talking about random shit, to their most recent uploads, you can see the downfall quite easily because their most recent collaboration was with the TikToker Jay Kinda Funny. Now, if you don't know who Jay Kinda Funny is, he's a TikToker whose, quote, content is just him going out and harassing people in public every single day. I talked about this guy a couple of years ago, and I'm not really surprised to see that he's still at it. It's the lamest kind of content on the internet right now, and AJ and Big Justice thought that it'd be a good idea to get in on the action.
Excuse me? Hey. He's very hungry. He's wondering if he should eat the...
He's the kind of shit my son watches, to give you an idea.
Oh.
Which one do you want?
I'll try to cook.
Alright, there you go.
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all
Take
yours.
a bite, take a bite, take a bite, take a bite.
This is like the least offensive thing Jay has ever uploaded, and it's still just so fucking annoying. Hey bud, I know you're just trying to shop at Walmart, but we're gonna film you and make you eat a cookie so we can make money, okay? I mean, they're not even in a Costco. They're walking around to random strangers trying to offer them unmarked food.
It's good.
It's good.
You know what that gets?
That gets how big?
Boom!
See, this is just such a big jump, and I'm not trying to be a boomer or anything, but this is no longer just filming you and your son eating some shit at Costco. This is walking around, including random people in your content, filming them likely without their permission, and then just being a public nuisance. Yeah, let's go scream in a Walmart for content. That sounds like a good idea.
Basically,
I think parents do that to little kids in Walmart every day.
Basically, excuse me?
Yes.
He's wondering what to eat.
Right.
He doesn't know if he should eat the
Chicken bake?
Or the double chunk chocolate cookie.
Person just
You
like,
don't want
I'll
none?
kiss him out.
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
And a chicken bake.
Why did he walk away?
Oh my god, guys. Do you get it? They're fucking with a guy making minimum wage at Walmart so they can make thousands of dollars on social media. Oh my fucking god, guys. That's hilarious. I mean, like, is that the expected reaction? Yeah, we dragged this guy away from trying to do his job, filmed him without saying anything, and then made fun of him when he didn't accept the random food we were trying to give him. Is that supposed to be funny? Like, I just don't get it. There are 2 adults involved in the making of this video. One of them appears to be around the age of 50, and they still thought this was a good idea. That's terrifying.
Excuse me? He's wondering what to eat. The
Chicken bake?
Or the double chunk chocolate cookie.
You want, wait.
You don't want none of
Double
that?
chunk chocolate cookie.
Come on.
Chicken bake.
Damn.
What did he say?
Haha, get it? We did the exact same thing we've already done, because if you scroll through our TikTok page, you'll learn pretty quickly that we're not super creative. Our content consists of either one of 2 videos. AJ here is the embodiment of if it's not broke, don't fix it. They literally just make the same video over and over and over and over and over again, and I guess that even applies to their shitty pranks. Again, what is so funny about somebody who's trying to do their job not buying into your stupid little TikTok? These are not the actions of adults.
Me? The Rizzler thought you were very beautiful.
Spin your passion into a business with Shopify and break sales records with the world's best converting
Beautiful.
Oh my god, you are so freaking cute. You were a little older, maybe.
Damn.
This guy.
Okay, so the only saving grace of this video is it's not just some random lady they're walking up to. She's always in Jay's videos. But this is just weird. Yeah, let's go have what appears to be like a 7-year-old go try and rizz up some random lady. That sounds like an idea that 3 adults should be willing to sign off on, right? Now, we could go on and on. There are hundreds of videos uploaded by these guys that are getting kind of questionable, but I feel like I've sort of made my points. What I want to end on is this little behind the scenes video that got uploaded somewhere, and it's a little concerning. Now, I want to preface this by saying this video very well could be staged on purpose to try and garner this kind of reaction, but I don't think that's a reason to dismiss this.
This is what it's all about.
What now?
What's going to play now?
Oh, okay. Okay, I just wanted to catch that, so I couldn't hear you very well, because the speaker is extremely loud in this video.
Because I feel like if it was staged, that's a problem in and of itself. To start forcing your kid to make content with the mindset of any publicity is good publicity, yeah, that's not okay.
Action. 3, 2, 1. Boom!
No, we're here with Jay Kind of Funny.
No,
okay.
don't worry.
No, we're here with Jay Kind of Funny is first.
Okay. We're here with Jay Kind of Funny.
And this is Boom. One at a time. Okay. We're here with Jay Kind of Funny, and this is Boom. We're doing.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this no longer seems like a father and son having fun making stupid videos. I just don't think anybody involved here is looking at this in the long term. People will only watch the same video so many times before they're done. People are only going to watch you say double chunk chocolate cookie and chicken bake so many times before they're tired of your shit. Is a year or 2 of internet virality worth damaging the relationship
This dude's
between
been
you and your
popular for
kid. Maybe it is to some people, but I don't think it is.
I think even less.
I'll say this more. You say the chicken bake or the double chunk chocolate?
Ready? And action.
Hurry here with Jay, kind of funny.
And this is boom or doom.
The chicken bake.
Or the double chunk chocolate cookie.
I gotta go with the double chunk chocolate cookie.
No, you gotta taste it. You gotta take it. First taste it. First taste the chicken bake.
Oh.
Then taste the double chunk chocolate cookie and then give your answer.
Yeah, then
Okay. Oh,
Ready?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Here, try the chicken bake.
Okay.
It's so chickeny. It has bacon.
Oh my goodness.
Savory.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good. It has cheese.
This is making me extremely uncomfortable. I don't like the face that the dad is making. This is so damn awkward. I never thought I'd say this, but I actually kind of feel bad for Jay here. I cannot imagine being stuck between these two.
Definitely gets a boom. Definitely.
All right, now try the double chunk chocolate cookie.
Let me do that one. Let me do that one. You ready? All right, Jay. Now you gotta try the double chunk chocolate cookie.
I've been waiting all my
I
life.
really wish he would quit saying
Oh my. That definitely gets a boom.
It's not looking good for me, guys.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Cut. All right. Okay, here we go. And say, all right, Jay, which one gets the boom and which one gets the doom?
Look at Jay's face here. This is the face of a man who knows he's being punished for his year's worth of shitty content. I would not wish this on my worst enemy. Jay needs to get out of here immediately. But going back to what I was saying earlier, like eventually the well is gonna dry up. People are only gonna watch so many videos of you booming and dooming the fucking chocolate chunk cookie and the chicken bake. I don't know why it's so easy to get famous on TikTok with this sort of equation. Just finding one video that works and then milking it for every last drop until people get tired of you.
Yeah,
if you do this, one thing is guaranteed: the people will always
the kid in the middle
eventually
is actually
get tired of you.
genuinely funny.
All right, Jay, which one
That's
gets
what I'm
the
saying.
boom and
My
which
son
one
watches
gets
him all the time,
doom?
but the Costco guys, a little strange.
I'm gonna go with the
You would say
double chunk.
wait, you would say the chicken bake gets the doom?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The chicken bake gets the doom, and the double chunk chocolate cookie gets the boom.
Yep, you can see it in his face. He's already planning how he's gonna make Jay disappear since he didn't read the line exactly how he wanted. I can't place it exactly, maybe it's sort of the uncanny acting, but there's just something off about this. This does not seem like a production I would want to be a part of. I would say there's still time to turn this around, but honestly, I don't think there is. This guy already has videos where he's having his son call out Baby Gronk. They've already devolved to content that is nothing more than fucking with people in public. When you garner the kind of audience that likes that kind of stuff, that means your audience that would enjoy normal content is gone. So it's just a snowball effect of constantly having to appease to people who like the worst kind of content on the internet. I'm sorry to say, but I think AJ and Big Justice are doomed. Well, guys, what do you think? Am I being too harsh? Do you think this should still be looked at as nothing more than a father and son just having fun? Or do you agree with me that we're getting dangerous?
Listen, man, I don't know what was harder to watch, these guys or watching Kamala Harris.
But you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till you see the cartoon.
There's a cartoon.
Cue it up, bro. Okay, so now you know the Costco guys. Get ready to see the cartoon.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see the cartoon. It's got to be better.
Okay, so next link is to YouTube.
Oh, it's their YouTube? They made their own cartoon?
No. It's made by a fan.
Oh, okay.
We're Costco guys! Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake!
Yeah, they are the worst father and son.
We're Costco guys! Of course we have to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie!
That was great, Dad! I love Costco! I'm gonna try and work here when I'm older! Get an even better discount!
You know we live for the discount, son! I gotta show you something new Costco has. It's way in the back.
Sure! What is it?
You'll find out, son.
Oh, wow! I've never been back here before! Oh no! What is this?
All right, so you're giving away one child. Yeah, one kid. Okay, that upgrades your membership card for another 10% on cash rebates. Here you go. Oh, yeah. That's a bull, baby. That's a bull. Oh, he's big. Oh, he's a big bull.
Stop! Come here! Is this some kind of joke?
Whoa. Hold on. No, hold on. Lift with your legs.
Get off me! What is this? Daddy! Daddy!
Set it down.
Daddy! Daddy!
Long day. Now move this pallet over here.
This younger generation.
Oh, God!
Yeah, no, go more in the back. All right, yeah, you're good to go. Close it.
See, we don't even have Costco here. We
Veo
got
algunos
Sam's
hombres. Creo que nos están apuntando. Quizás nosotros somos los siguientes. No dejaré que te lleven, te lo prometo.
I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what you're saying.
Everything will be okay. Aléjate, aléjate, no te acerques. No, suéltame. No, God, no. Wait, don't close it. Don't close it.
Damn it, Mikey.
Hey! Help me! Help! Help! Hey! No!
Oh no, I think it's pretty creative. Kind of like salad fingers. You ever watch salad fingers?
Oh my god, salad fingers with a rusty spoon. What?
Yeah.
You watched that? That's British. Yeah, that's some British shit.
Dia akan baik-baik saja. Kita akan melatihnya dengan baik.
Salad fingers.
So that's how they get Kurt one signature.
Jangan malas-malasan. Balik kerja dasar malas. Sini kacangnya.
Let me call my wife, please. I have to use the restroom.
Sekarang cepat. Kita harus penuhi kuota.
Hei Ahmad, kamu harus kesini. Ini sangat lucu. Lihat seberapa besar kue ini.
Oh, kuenya besar banget ya.
Double chunk chocolate cookie is a boom. Isn't that right?
Lihat, gimana tuh sama dia?
Ya ampun, ada apa dengan yang kecil
Lucu
itu?
banget ini
Kenapa
orang.
dia terlihat seperti
Is that
itu?
the Riz? Then we get an electric Subaru commercial.
The all-electric, all-quiet Subaru Solterra. Dog tested, dog approved.
So there you have it. The Costco crew.
The cartoon was better.
Yeah, I preferred the cartoon. Yeah, the cartoon was like way more fun. And then I got the last piece to wrap out the show is this guy again with the questions. We seen him yesterday, but he's not being zesty today. He's not acting like a fag.
Oh,
I don't think
that's good.
Too much.
That's good.
Yeah, because he was getting a little
too much, a little too deep with it.
A little bit weird yesterday. Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
He yelled Heil Hitler and climbed the fence.
He's not been doing enough for his gut health lately. Would you rather be itchy or sticky?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Sticky if you're nutting on yourself.
The nation's capital was on high alert today.
Largest gathering of Jewish people in modern history.
We're here live at the White House, and reminds me of like Coachella or something like that. Is that a 1 or a 2?
Okay, thank you.
Judging by the time, that was a 2. What do you think should happen with Gaza?
You know, like I want there to be a two-state solution to this. I just don't know how to have some sort of peaceful compromise.
And does size matter?
she's stunned.
In what context?
Just in like a relationship.
Yeah.
I stand here as a principled man and I say yes to hummus, no to Hamas.
Am Yisrael Chai.
And is this a classic hummus, or is this like with garlic?
I like tahini, and you know what? Maybe a little bit of mushrooms in there.
I'm sure that's just coincidence.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Definitely true. It's true.
Do you think that Taylor Swift will be a distraction to Travis Kelce in the playoffs?
I only answer about Jewish stuff.
It's a very good point.
$1 or
Thank you,
mystery
Brian.
box?
Mystery box.
We're Costco guys. We love buying everything from China.
What is it?
That's pretty
Any
much
plans
what
to
that
use
was
it?
about. Hey, maybe they're Chinese plants.
You single?
I do happen to be single.
All right, we gotta raise up a girl. Let's do it. All right, let's find someone. Let's go.
I choose a target.
All right, he chooses a target. I'll assist you if you want. Right here. Hey, excuse me, ladies. My friend here had a couple words he wanted to say.
What's your name?
Ariel Cadeau.
Yo! You know David Koenig? Alright, yo, wait, okay, alright. Did you know that there's a 95% chance that you will find this future husband at this rally?
We were just talking about that.
He could be within a couple of feet from you.
That's crazy.
It's so
All right,
hard
back
to
to
try
David
and buy
Cohn.
American now anymore.
Can he get your number
little
right
is
here?
actually made here.
Yo, dude, she's like my friend's ex.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I do not recognize her.
Oh, that's so funny. Never. So that's a yes, or just as a rabbi, do you have any advice for someone who may be struggling with like chronic masturbation? Just asking for a friend.
No advice whatsoever.
Even to like, just like
Harley's getting a lot
slow
of
it down or anyway.
backlash from their wokeism.
Only, I think, look, if you're in a relationship and that interferes with your relationship, then that's a problem. But otherwise, I have nothing to say about it.
I think it's not that big of a deal.
Not to my mind.
It's good to know. It's a relief. It's a definite relief. What's your body count?
Unfortunately, 0.
You're a king.
Thank you.
What's the best part about staying pure?
Best part about staying pure, close to God and close to my family.
What do you want to say to people on like TikTok and stuff who don't think the Middle East is real?
Real?
Like some people think it's like the government's making up like all these countries and
Fake
stuff.
lands? I mean, I've been there. I've
Yeah.
been in Israel.
So it's definitely real.
It's definitely.
Yeah. So you know, what kind of girl are you looking for, bro?
Personally, I'm a big fan of the older women. Not gonna lie.
You think we can find you one right now?
I think so. I think there's a chance.
All right,
Got
let's
a good crowd.
Let's do it. We got a couple
America
moms.
totally sold
Okay,
out.
my man Eddie right here. He says he
The
wants
Chinese paid a
a
lot
more
to own this
mature
place.
woman.
I am looking for a more mature woman.
We're very mature.
No, none of you.
Married, sorry.
Good Riz. You feel fulfilled in your Riz, bro?
I actually do feel fulfilled my Riz. Yo, make sure to follow this man on TikTok.
What do you tell to the kids who are less confident out there?
Yo, everyone's gonna forget it. Nobody cares. Everyone wakes up the next day and forgot what happened.
What do you think should happen to Gaza?
Be destroyed, and we win them. We win the war. Israel should win.
And do you think Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner have long-term potential?
No. No, I don't think so.
How come?
Because they always celebrities always go apart.
The world sometimes feels wrong. People's faces get long. As a world, we gotta be strong. We want to know, itchy or sticky? What do y'all think should happen to Gaza?
Kill them all. No, well, that's dis. They're bad people.
No, they don't know
Not all
anything. They're
Palestinians
just
are
gang
bad.
activists,
They're
but-
just taught the wrong things.
You know
What Gaza
when I
wants
was
is
their age, I
genocide
thought
for
I
all
knew
the Jewish
everything,
people, and that's not
older I
okay.
get,
And people
more
support
I
that.
realize I
What I
know
think should
nothing.
happen is they should be destroyed.
And, what's the minimum salary for a guy if you were gonna date or get married?
The minimum salary?
No idea.
I would say multi-millionaire. Same.
And
luck.
what's your ideal height in a guy?
My ideal height in a guy? I like girls.
Love your car. What do you do for a living?
You love my car? I've seen you on TikTok.
What do you do for a living?
I run a talent agency. Follow him on
Do I
TikTok.
look hot?
Follow him on TikTok.
Dude, answer the question. Could I be a model?
I'll sign you.
Oh yeah. How long have you been with your husband?
He is not my husband, he's a friend.
Oh, you guys are
הוא
friends.
שאל כמה זמן אנחנו ביחד.
Does he have any hope of changing that?
No. אז זה לא רלוונטי, מה הוא רוצה ממני?
She doesn't speak English so well.
Oh, no worries. I was wondering, is there any hope of making it? Do you want to be more than friends or happy to be friends?
Dude, I'm not. It's not. We work together in the same organization.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We like Roro and G, we like family, and if you want to party, I ain't gonna charge no fee, and if you leave a message at the tone on Roro's cell phone.
What do you feel about the modern man?
The modern man. Define the modern man.
Like, do you feel like guys these days, they're too feminine or too masculine?
I feel like we need more masculine men. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Thank
I would
God.
like. I like a masculine guy.
What
I
do-
think
what
my
do-
ladies can agree.
What does that look like?
What does that look like?
Like, I'll make a reservation for tonight in DC. Like,
Oh, it's so nice. Not like that. Just like, I don't know. Take things like a man. That's it.
Look at my son over there. Look at my son.
are you proud of your
I'm
son?
proud, of course. Look at you.
Dad! Dad, I love you.
You've grown into
You're
quite the
proud of
man.
me. I'm so grateful. I just want to make you proud, Dad. I'm making TikToks for you, man. There's like 7 people laughing right here. I think I'm doing good. I don't know.
We gotta get those views
I'm
up,
just,
Ari.
this is not what I wanted. You know, I wanted more, Dad. But
I'm proud of you, no matter what, bro.
do you think Israel would ever be willing to give the pyramids back?
The pyramids, that's not part of their control.
Don't they want to get the pyramids? Because like it's like the oldest pyramid.
So before it gets too late,
What's this called? What?
I wanted to bring it up
pyramid?
on the stream to
Like
remind
in
people
Egypt?
we're doing a giveaway. It's in our Gundales community
Over on X.
over on X, yeah.
Only
and
on
we'll be
X.
giving you only on X. And we will be giving you more information soon on that with an X only stream.
Yeah, absolutely. X only stream because we're not allowed to talk about it too much on the other platforms because they hate what we stand for, which is the Second Amendment and your freedoms and freedom of speech, which you don't have on many places at all anymore. X is pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean we've really only just started this thing up again because of X, and we're quite weary to do it. And remember, we've been banned, shadow banned, and deleted numerous times. This is just continually happening. You can follow us on Gab, where we
Even
pretty much
now,
always
we
had our
are
home.
absolutely suppressed by YouTube. Most of our viewership is through X because they
Yeah.
don't censor us.
Yes, so always follow us on X. If you need to get our details, you can email us support@guncoyote.com, or if you have any questions at all about Second Amendment, how to legally acquire a firearm, how to safely use a firearm, all these kind of things. Any questions at all. If you're new to firearms or old with firearms and you're an experienced shooter, you can contact
us a
us.
question.
Send us a question. Fire one away. If you want to come on the stream, if you want to show your collection off or anything like that, we also love to hear from you and engage with you. We have a Discord that you can check out as well. You can hit us up on X. We'll give you all the links there. It's the easiest place to get in touch with us. So yeah, there's more news on our giveaway
Thanks,
there,
Brian.
and also thanks, Brian. And we have a community there which is dedicated for finding the best links, the best deals, and we really want to hear from anyone out there. If you're an FFL, or you're just a passionate collector, come and join our community. It's pinned to the top of my profile on there, so you'll see. If you're watching from X, if you're watching on the restream,
If you're
hopefully
watching
you'll
on
be able to
YouTube,
find all
you
that
can
stuff.
find everything on X.
Yeah,
We
just
know you
come
have
on over
one.
to our X.
We know you have
You
one.
gotta-
If you're watching us, we know you have an X. And
so yeah.
And don't forget to look capitalism right in the eyes and say, "Yes, Daddy, please," and go buy a MagDump t-shirt. Embrace
We're gonna have
capitalism.
we're gonna have some great news coming from MagDump soon. I just heard. I've just been in a board meeting with the MagDump guys, and they're talking about adding a lot of merch to the giveaway we're doing,
Yeah.
and also bringing down the amount of reposts needed on that giveaway in order to make it go off. Because I want to spin the wheel live on stream pretty soon. I wanna pick a lucky person out there to get this giveaway, because it's gonna be a hell of a weekend, hell of a range day. Yeah, 1,000 freedom seeds. So come and get it, and some MagDump merch. It's all over on our X. And like I'm saying, if you're lost, if you're confused, can't find the way, just email support@guncoyote.com. We'll help you out with whatever you need.
Yes, we do need Trump back again, Brian. You're absolutely right.
Well, yeah.
The thing is, realistically, my fear for the country is, we're looking at this as like a pivotal election. You either have to pick communist Kamala, or you have to pick Trump, who we know has a proven track record of having low prices for things. Easy access to cash flow.
Yeah.
And all that. But what I'm afraid of now is the country is so divided that no matter who wins this election, the other side's going to lose their shit. No matter what. I think that's just the way I feel about it. I may be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, to be perfectly honest. But it definitely seems like one side or the other is just going to lose their shit no matter who wins this election, and we're in for one hell of a ride.
We're definitely in for one hell of a ride. And after that night where Trump lost, that evening
at the
we
2
all went to
a.m.
bed.
or 3 a.m.
Yeah, we all went to sleep, and I don't think a soul out there thought we would wake up to what we saw.
I didn't.
No one.
I went to sleep at like
thought that
1 a.m. that night, and I was like, Trump's got this in the bag. I'm going to wake up in the morning and Trump's going to be president again.
Yep.
And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck?
I literally put my whiskey down, was like, it's done, I'm good, I'm going to sleep, I wake up, everything is going to be wonderful. No, wrong. I wake up, I'm coming out of the shower, I check the news, I can't believe it. Rubbing my eyes. It cannot be possible. Biden somehow overtook in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Somehow the counting was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
and then all the evidence that came out after that, but there was no tampering of any kind.
How could that be true? And then when we see this interview, it's almost like it's not Mandela effect, parallel timeline. How do we say it? The mind is so split. I don't want to overuse the word cooked, but it is like the brain has been brain fried. This is your brain on drugs. This is your brain on democracy, on liberalism. They forget what the Constitution is, that it's constitutional republic. They forget about that. They get all into identity politics. And then when they're faced with the actual hardline questions in the interviews we've seen, they just make it up as they go along. Wall's making it up about his military service, making it up about the economy, about all the great things they've apparently achieved. I understand there's a mixed bag there. They managed to reduce the price of insulin. Wonderful. That's great. But when everything else went up in price, it kind of negates that. It kind of makes it nothing and meaningless. It's awesome that they managed to achieve some things, but the real underlining matter is our pockets were all fat under Trump. I never met a soul said
prices have gone up quite a bit if he's building pool cages. Yeah, aluminum prices are insane.
I mean, that's what we were talking about every day on the shows. With the cost of gas going up, how are you going to keep the cost of anything down?
You can't.
We were energy independent. They're morons. Start drilling. It's just they should have started a long time ago. They're stupid, and we're allowing them to lead us. And yeah, it's painful, man. And then I saw in the chat we was mentioning about the China stuff, which we haven't really touched on much today. We didn't talk much about the Chi-Coms or anything.
China.
China. It's in the digital devices. The Huawei it's got them in there.
Yeah, I don't think we can have that stuff in America anymore. The Huawei.
Right?
Huawei. Yeah.
Was it when Alex was talking with the guy that was shouting at Alex, and Alex had enough. And I believe when Alex retorted to him, this was on yesterday's show, right? And that's what Alex was shouting about the Huawei and about double agents and about a lot of different intel, British intel as well, intel of the whole world getting in there. So at the end of the day, if we don't communicate with one another, if we don't keep true to what the Constitution is, then it's going to get blown around, it's going to get stretched around, because it's the best economy in the world, it's the freest market, it's the freest area in the world, it's the only place where people are allowed to arm themselves against tyranny, it's the only place where people are allowed to pursue happiness. Let that sink in.
It's the last hope of the world.
It is. It really is. And anyone that tries to burn that flag and put it down and anything is, the whole fact they can burn the flag, First Amendment. That's how stupid they are. That's how they just don't get it. The fact that they can have these protests and get so, up and rowdy about it is because of the First Amendment, and you can't have the first without the second.
Yeah.
So
go to Moscow and
overlook it.
burn the Russian flag in Red Square.
Right.
Or go to
Look,
Beijing and burn the Chinese flag. See what happens to you.
Look at Northern Korea. We'd all be living in some kind of shit like that if it hadn't been for the revolution. For sure. We'd all be living in some kind of like slave camp thing. And I really don't think they would give people the freedom. As someone who managed to get off the island of England, let me tell you, they don't want you doing that. Not unless you're of a certain lineage. Not unless you're like a son of a lord, which unfortunately I'm not. But yeah, sure, some people, they manage to make it big and they strike out. But I think, yeah, most people in the UK is living in poverty, is living in golden handcuffs. They're living in the welfare state, where they live in a brick house and they have hot and cold water and they have 3 meals a day and everything, but they don't have freedom, they don't have cash, they don't have a business.
Come to my town if you want to see what they want for America, because that's effectively what they've done here. Is they've created two classes of people. They've created the old rich people, and the masses are the young poor people. And the only thing that they ever want here are fast food places to keep the old rich people happy.
Right. And they don't want that development anymore of that entrepreneurial American dream chasing.
They have no desire for it. They
don't want that anymore.
They want don't have any tax incentives unless it's a huge business that comes in. There's no incentives for small business because, well, the honest thing is, if you open a small business in an area like where I'm at, which is a small area, which should be begging for businesses, that they will make the loopholes that you have to dance through, and the taxes so high, and the people themselves will have agencies come in to investigate you to make sure that you're doing things the right way. That it's just not worth the hassle.
Yeah. Well, look, this is what happens. And when Trump came in, there was the deregulation of many sectors. And there was, you said it a moment ago, the easy access to cash, the cheap dollar. Cheapening the dollar doesn't lead to inflation. It's actually an inverse relation. By having a valuable dollar, a dollar that's
easy
expensive
access to cash flow.
Yeah, if you have an expensive dollar where you're having to pay a lot on your interest, and it also doesn't have energy independence with that, you're looking at an economy where it's really, really difficult to move things around. The logistics of everything are inflated. That's where the inflation comes from. There's no price gouging. It means that if you operate a business, for instance, what was it you were just saying? Someone in the chat, Brian, he's doing pools, right? He was doing
pool cages.
Pool cages. So every single step of the business, I'm sure he'll be able to tell us, has been inflated in some way, either with a tax or with just the general cost of acquiring it. Because the logistics to get it from A to B to deliver stuff is cost more. It's gone up more. And then you've got the union saying that the hourly rate has to go up. Where's the price gouging in that? It's not price gouging. It's just the economy. It's just the way it works. So yeah, if the cost of fuel goes down, everything else will be able to be relaxed as well. The market is competitive. If we lose the free market, we lose that competition. Price fixing is what they're talking about. We lose the competition. They want to bring a price fixing in. It's a scam. We lose our market, we lose the economy. What would price fixing do? What would rent controls really do? If there is such a bubble will burst. If there's a housing bubble, which I believe there is, and that's a whole other topic. There's
totally
definitely a bubble in the... There's definitely a housing bubble. Problem with that one is it's an artificial bubble that the REITs, the real estate investment trusts, the fund managers, BlackRock, and they're buying it all up in this you will own nothing and be happy
Do you see that
scheme of things.
$100K for a pool in a pool cage? Oh my god.
That's wow. $100K? Really? Well, it's quite a big one, right?
That's huge.
It's just the average price, yeah.
He said with Trump, pool and pool cage was 30 to 60K.
Whoa!
That's
so there you go.
Jump.
It's up over. It's going to be like I've been saying. Like I've been saying, man, it's up way more than we think. Christ. Yeah, 2/3.
That's over 100%.
100%. Yeah.
If you're at 30K, that's like 300%. Over 300%.
I think 2/3 of most people's income has been wiped out due to this like inflation, and or maybe even their whole income. Like they don't have any money.
Oh, it's
left
huge, man.
now.
It's huge.
I think it's,
I'll give you a great
yeah.
example. I could live off a fraction of the income that I have now comfortably and do everything that
Yeah.
I wanted to circa 2010. And 14 years later, having essentially
For sure.
like
If we're going back to
quadruple
then.
the income
Oh,
of
come
what
on.
I had in 2010, I can't afford
Yeah.
shit.
Can't get shit. Yeah, I mean, look, that's why I cashed out then, bro. That's why I done it then. Yeah. Because my shit was running good. So I was like, look, if I get out now, it's good. And I know that they did have a good run fairly well after that, but yeah, it never came back. Trump era most recently was my most sort of, hey, I'm flush, I'm liquid again. It was running, you know, there was some good times during then. So yes, I think going back to an era of cheap dollar, low inflation, lots of drilling the Gulf, I think it was a good idea. I don't think it was a bad idea. And when they shut down the Keystone Pipeline and these things,
That
I
was
think
a
the
really
actual
bad move.
overall cost, yeah, I think the overall cost of what that actually cost Americans is what you're seeing now, and it's
Tremendous.
huge. There would have been a little bit of pain bringing that pipeline through, but guess what? Nature can't stop growing. We expend so much time and energy every day cleaning up nature and
Yes.
making nature grow in a way that we want it to grow, so it doesn't go in power lines, it doesn't go, you know, like this or that, and it's to our way of life. Nature will just grow over it. So this whole thing about the Keystone and about all of this is a natural site, what they should have realized is that the oil is doing the same thing. It's always creating itself. If we don't tap into that and we don't transport it across the country and make it accessible to everyone, then we're just wasting it. We're just wasting the time. And oh my God, you had to cut some trees down and move it through. Oh my God, you had to move some stuff to get it through. Once the dust is settled, everything will be fine again. You won't know. What you will know is that there's a fucking huge pipeline running through there that delivers you nice, cheap, affordable fuel. And you ain't gonna get that any other way, you know? So
the only good thing is that if we have another Trump presidency, I can tell you the way that a lot of these oil companies work, because I worked for Halliburton for a while. If you're listening, you don't know. A lot of these oil companies are drilling, and they're just capping the wells, and they're going to wait until they get the green light, and then they'll go and they'll unplug those wells, and it'll start moving. That's how gas prices and energy prices came down so quickly when Trump became president in the first place, because the oil industry does prepare for instances like this, the oil and gas industry. And as soon as they get that green light, they go and start popping caps on those wells and start moving it. So we have it ready.
Good news to know that. I didn't know that. Always a commodities trader and traded the fuel contracts, but energy contracts. But yeah,
man.
I didn't know about the oil capping. And
Yeah.
of course, you got the rigs as well. You got the rig count. They can fire those rigs up or turn them down. That's the one part I knew about. But yeah, that's also interesting. To
Yeah,
hear.
that's basically every wellhead that I worked on while I worked at Halliburton was not being pumped. We were just we were fracking it, getting it staged, and capping the well. And when they were ready to get that gas, it would come back, take the cap off the wellhead, and start moving it. But there's thousands of wells like this. They're just sitting there, tapped, ready.
Now, while we're down this energy, whatever you want to call it, I don't want to overuse the term, but rabbit hole, wormhole, energy hole, pipe hole. Yeah, what is the truth of the whole thing? Yeah, while we're down this pipeline, why do they shut it all down? How can they actually equate that? Like, why does that get support? Why do they? It's because of the Green New Deal, right?
Save
that
the
was
planet,
the
man.
To save the planet, right? Just remind me here. It's to save the planet because it's going to poison us if we have cheap fuel. But then they're doing the lithium mining, and it
We can't
just
talk about
doesn't
that.
make sense.
We can't talk about the
It
lithium
does not
mining.
make sense.
You
None
can't
of
talk about
this
those giant
is-
strip mines in Australia for lithium. You can't talk about the child labor mines all over Africa.
So we're supposed to just accept this and get on with it like it was any other thing that was happening. While inflation is out of control, there doesn't seem to be any end in sight. And Kamala is giving interviews like, you know, it's like talking with an absolute moron. She cannot get into office. She's shown she's clearly not qualified. At least with Obama, at least with the Clinton, they can have some kind of talk on policy, and at least
Well, that's because
it
they,
is always
they
word
weren't
salad.
idiots.
Well,
I
think they're
they
all
have
idiots,
idiotic
but-
ideas. Well,
Yeah.
well, they have idiotic ideas, but Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and them, they are not stupid people.
Oh, very true. Yeah, we must not underestimate them. Right. But there's that
But Kamala
cunningness.
Harris.
That's it. That's what
Yeah,
I'm trying to say
cunningness.
here. Yeah.
But Kamala Harris
not that
is
it's
a
missing.
stupid person.
Yeah, for the first time ever, we get into this thing. I pulled up a chair, pulled up a seat. Oh, Kamala's giving the interview. I was expecting to hear some real smart shit, like some real bullshit that was in some way
You did hear
going
some
to
real
somehow. I heard some real bullshit, but it was in some way gonna make sense, I guess, if you sort of, look at it a little bit from the side and squint a bit. Maybe you can see what she's saying as being
No.
true, But no, there's just. What are you giving us to work with, Kamala? Like every single thing she come out with was just bullshit. She
Hot
can't
garbage,
get the vote.
all of it.
Total garbage. She can't get the vote. No way. There's just no way.
Well, buddy, I hate to call it, but we're at 11:50. We're coming up on the midnight hour, which is my cutoff. I already have my kid out of bed, and she's decided to come in here and lay on the floor next to me in the office for the show. So I'm going to usher her back to her bed because she is like me and doesn't sleep all night and stays up all day. It's great. But I think we did have a great show. And it
was good fun, man. Yeah, it was great talking again.
Brian, it's great to have you interacting with us on the show. Thanks for subscribing to us. We really appreciate that. It means more to us than you know. We're a small channel, and we're not here to make money. Honestly, we're here to do this because we just enjoy doing it. So thanks for subscribing. And I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow for a Friday night stream. We'll have all kinds of goodness.
I hope so.
Hopefully we'll have some more breakdown of the big CNN interview, which is still an evolving situation at this time.
Yes.
But
remember the last words from me. I do have something prepared today. It's check our X profile. Just going to nail that again.
Yeah. Check out the
our X profile.
X.com/gun_coyote.
Yeah.
We need you guys on X because that's the only place that people like us and people like you, who are Second Amendment supporters and patriotic Americans, still have a voice on a large social media platform. Everywhere else, they don't want to hear what we say. They block what we say. So make sure you follow us on X and make an X account. It is the #1 social media app out there now. It has surpassed Facebook even and Instagram, which is a huge deal if you're not aware. That is huge. But you can say what you want to say on there. You can even use words that YouTube doesn't like. It's crazy. But good night, guys.
Yes. Good night.
And, and with that final
Thanks for
words of
listening.
wisdom, stay strapped or get clapped. Sign up for our newsletter. X is Twitter, Brian. X is Twitter. So that's all it is. Elon changed the name from Twitter to X. Don't ask me why. I thought Twitter was more catchy, but it is what it is. But thank you guys. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.